I can feel like 80 rats in my Marys. Me and Drizzy back to back is getting scary. If you fucking with my eyes, just don't come near me. Put some bins all on your head like Justin Terry. Whoa.
Let's get it. The Faison View podcast back with another episode. We in the building. Episode 197. Man, now we here. Now we here. You already know, man. Your host with the most, Malik Space Ghost. And you already know, co-host.
You Holmes Jr., we out here, what's going on?
We out here, baby. Hey, you already know, we got amazing things to talk about. So we gonna get straight to it. But you already know what's on his hat and what's on my chest. First of all, Game Shift. Make sure you go follow and support the movement, man. It's bigger. It's a bigger picture. Hey, look here. My boy Hugh, look, you see him here, he gonna be in other places, man. We doing big things. Big things as men and as black men too.
Sure.
Hey, we going. So man, what we got here for you today? First and foremost, we want to talk about who won. Hey,
finally,
Biden and Harris. We finally got an answer.
Gosh.
So we're gonna get.
We still not really done. To be honest.
We still not done. We definitely still not done. So we're gonna get on to that. Secondly, very sadly, rest in peace, King Von and more. I really want to talk about that. Like, I'm gonna really get deep into that one. Thirdly, describe what love means to you, which is a good segue to the Von conversation, just off of how great a person he was and how loving a person he was, despite anything that people say or anything. He was still a good human being, point blank. And lastly, which is a great question, would you rather be held in high regard by your parents or by your friends? Very interesting question that I haven't even got to myself, me or him. So this is gonna be a question we just blank on, and we're gonna figure this out when we get to it. But first and foremost, man, let's get into it. Color Power, man. Make sure you go shop. It will be down below. And Game Shift. Make sure you go support. Point blank. First, man, Biden and Harris wins. We finally got, some type of verdict. We don't know because the times that we in, the mail-in ballots. Yes, of course.
Well, from what they say, it doesn't really matter. Biden has enough.
But also, he already
can't win.
Absolutely. So we're gonna get into that. And first, man, Kamala Harris. No matter how y'all feel about her, the beliefs, because everybody had their beliefs and views. Guess what? Amazing feat. First woman,
twice,
vice president. First woman, not black woman. First woman, vice president. Get that correct. And first black woman, vice president. That is an amazing feat in itself. And
has there ever been a black vice president? Period.
No.
So really, it's history 3 times.
It's history. It's amazing,
yeah.
And it's beautiful, and it's a blessing. And we're just so blessed that it's happened for our people. At the end of the day, for our people, it shows a lot of people that we can set our mind to something and get to a goal.
It can be done.
At the end of the day, get to a goal. No matter how you feel this way or another, she met her goal. And guess what? All praise to her. All praise to her. So this has been such as a toss and turn. This election has been so crazy. But what I really want, and what my boy Hugh really said, and I felt like people should hold on to last episode, is the fact that if you did not vote, you do not have the right to sit here and complain. Because I see a lot of complaining on social media and just in general about, y'all think Biden's a good one? Well, who did you vote for? Did you vote? No, I didn't vote. So
you could have voted for anybody.
So
you could have voted for Kanye.
Don't complain.
You could have voted
for anybody, but you chose not to vote.
Yeah, man.
So how can you choose and pass your right to vote and then complain about it? I don't understand that. Because we all had a choice. You voted who you wanted to vote for. We're not going to sit here and continue to judge you over who you voted for. That's your decision. But at the end of the day,
don't complain.
You cannot complain. That's what it really comes down to.
I don't want to hear it.
Because this election showed it. This election showed this is the most votes in history, number 1 and 2. Biden and also Donald Trump.
Yeah.
So that showed everybody voted. And the ones that didn't, you're complaining for what?
You did nothing.
For
what
what,
I'm saying? You can't complain. You didn't do anything to help the situation.
For what?
For yourself or for the country. Because it's like, if you didn't want Biden in, you didn't exercise your right to try to help keep him out.
And what I'm really happy about
didn't do
is
anything.
just the fact that what people not really understanding, like what I kept talking about, this is a clean slate. It's a clean slate. He is entering a presidency, which he hasn't before. We are going to see what you're going to do. Point blank, period. We didn't like the 4 years. We didn't.
To see what he
and also, as you see in this presidency, Hugh, professionalism. It matters because you can say anything about Obama. He's loved off of his character, off of his professionalism. Donald Trump did not represent professionalism at all. Every time he spoke, he degraded or talked bad about him.
And it hurt him in the end.
So it hurt him at the end. Yes, he still had a lot of votes probably. Oh, that's cool. That's going to happen because you see how the country is and you see the type of people he brings. Cool. But at the end of the day, professionalism. People don't like to see you on a podium on Twitter disrespecting them or disrespecting their culture, ethnicity, or their beliefs.
Hometown heroes like
And,
John
and we're
McCain.
supposed to be looking at you in a certain type of realm. Keep your professionalism. So it's like, hey, everybody voted. We're gonna see. We're still in this. But right now, and it's not even no coming back from. Right now, we have a new president. We have a new vice president. Let's move forward. Biden has already enforced the COVID-19 task force. We're gonna see what he's gonna do with his 4 years in term. That's there. That's there. And our woman vice president, she's gonna do her thing, and we're gonna see it through. We're gonna see how this goes. Let's just get on board because it's a new person in town right now.
Yep.
So it's either you don't agree with it or you agree with it, but we have to come to a common ground because the last 4 years nobody has been on a common ground. We have been very much divided. We already have been divided. I'm not excusing that. I'm not blaming Trump the presidency. We've been divided for a long time. But it was more prevalent and seen now with his presidency. We never seen this many Karens and Kens ever. You want to be real? We have never seen that many. It's not to his credit, but one thing that I did, I'm not saying respect, but noticed out of his Trump's presidency is the fact that he made us notice what was going on and back up and change from it.
But that's the sneaky blessing in disguise.
That's what I'm saying. It is a sneaky blessing because we evolved.
Not only that, it's the difference between actually cleaning up the dirt and throwing it away and just sweeping it under the rug and you're not knowing his name.
Absolutely.
Trump being in office, yes, America has come a long way with racism, a long way. But with him being in office, it showed us that there's still some dirt underneath the rug.
Absolutely, and it's
not really clean.
And also,
that's a good thing. Now we know what we're dealing with. So
and also, like you just saying, one thing you can give to his credit, not saying respect it, give to his credit is within his bluntness. We didn't like it, but also it showed us this is how certain people think, and at least he's being upfront with the thinking instead of trying to go through the slimy ends to mess it over.
And now change can
we can actually see
what we're trying to change.
Exactly. So when we can see it, we can actually change it. So definitely, man.
But
so
please. I want to shout out Kamala Harris because for some people, especially young folks, especially people like younger than us, just like it takes seeing something to know that it can happen. Mm-hmm. And so. You can say what you want about Kamala Harris, but her being in office is now giving some young little girl hope that she not only can become a VP, she can become the president. Mm-hmm. And it doesn't matter what color you are. Seeing that, sometimes it takes seeing that to just know it's possible. Absolutely. Same thing with Obama. Seeing that made it possible for in a lot of people's eyes. And Kamala Harris is an example of that because she's now done something of a feat that Obama did. So shout out to her and accomplishing that feat. And I wish them both the best in this presidency because we're counting on them. I know it's up to just more than them, but just shout out to them and everything they're doing and what they got going on. And hopefully they can bring the country back to togetherness and not divide us anymore.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Shout out to both of them, and we're gonna continue to see, man. These 4 years, man. Like my boy Hugh said, we gotta come together. So this next one, man, this next segue, man, this is hurt, man. This is hurt. This is hurtful. I'm gonna have to pause music for this one real quick. We'll turn it down, cause this next one's dealing with King Von. Rest in peace to King Von. And condolences to everyone that was harmed and injured, and also who passed away in that incident, because he wasn't the only one who passed away in that incident. Two other brothers passed away. So I really adamant about this, honestly, because King Von, just like you know who we listening to now, Nipsey Hussle, just bright people. Despite what they've been through in their past, despite what you hear, despite what you might think and look at on social media, these people are human beings, bro. They're human beings. They feed their families just like you. They go through pain just like you. And to see this young man, 26, and really just getting started in the rap game, only been out of jail for a year and a half, 2, understand. We all go through things, make mistakes, but understand where he's coming from, and the environment he came from, and how he overcame throughout his life. And being in jail for a year or 2, he could have just came out and just, did whatever and continued to do what he was doing. He was guided by his family and OTF, especially Dirt, who really held on to him. Twin, that's his brother, for real. So him having that, he put that forth on everybody he touched. Bro, his last interview was with Gilly. Shout out to Gilly and Wallow, $1 million worth of game. I'm sure a lot of people tuned in because it was the last interview as well. He's really spoke about how he got his first 100K and split that with his loved ones, his family. First his mother, secondly his boys and OTF, and then slightly on him, and then the rest for lawyer fees and things he had to do. But just the type of mindset and person he is, he had children too. I'm not saying, and I'm not justifying the actions of before, because guess what? Things come back to haunt you, understandably. And living a certain life like that, you understand what comes with it. And then King Von understands what comes with it. And this incident is just very, very so much sad, because we were seeing the plight of a young black man just about to take over. It really was. The impact he had within his music reminds you of these young people that we're listening to, such as a Kodak Black, such as whoever you want to claim as a young great rapper. Also Cordae, who has content. Also, like, it doesn't matter. Lil Uzi, 21 Savage. These are the new waves. Little Durk. But also, the thing that made King Von a little bit different was you felt the pain in his voice, bro. He was talking some real stuff. He's been through stuff. And for this to happen and how it happened, it's eerie. And it's like a situation that could have been avoided. And I'm tired of people speaking out on it and speaking wrongly, and also looking at the perception of what social media is, because I did watch the interview where the manager was talking to academics and his close brother who's with him all the time. And you will see the whole video differently from his point of view, because he was actually there. Everybody's making speculations of what's happening and blaming other people. If you weren't there, you can't speak on, you can't. That's just reality. You can't speak on something that you wasn't there. And he just didn't deserve, all these things going on after his death. Like, just this constant things are going on within, the family. He wouldn't like that if he was still here. It's just a crazy situation. And, things you can't relive the past. You can only move forward. But this is a tough one, bro. It's a tough one, because he impacted a lot of people, bro. And I was really a fan of his, but I was really just getting started to really get onto his music, and really just the impact he had. Like the impact he had, he was creating a cult following. And it's just sad, man. Rest in peace, King Von. And I would go more into the manager's situation, but I mean, I just don't like people wrongfully accusing things, because if you listen to what he said, it matches up to what happened in the video. So, what you got to say on Von?
Rest in peace, King Von, man. I wasn't really a fan. Not to say that I thought his music style, I just never tapped into it. I probably would have down the line, but I just never got into it. So I can't speak from that perspective. But I'm just tired of seeing rappers die. As a fan of hip hop, I'm tired of seeing rappers die, especially young rappers. I mean, at least 3 or 4 have died this week. I think one more died today on Twitter before I got here.
Rest in peace, Mo 3. He just passed away, shot and killed.
So I'm tired of seeing young guys, starting to make a way for themselves, and then it's just getting taken away from them before they can do it. So I think there's a lesson in what happened to King Von. You gotta stay away from situations like that, man. When you work hard, when you work really, really hard to get out of those situations, you gotta. It's a fight. Jay-Z spoke about it in his music for years. Because he was a drug dealer. He said that lifestyle of just crime is addicting, man. Like to just not go do that, and to not be in the streets and just rap was hard for him. And not only that, you run into people, like when people know who you are and they see you up, they go and antagonize you. They go and try to get you. They're gonna try to tap into that old person in you. It's like Jay-Z said, it's like a full-time job not to kill. It's like he was, cause that's who he used to be. He was like, yo, I can't do that now. I'm somebody. I got people depending on me. I can't throw it away for him. And that's how Tupac died. And so it's like, I don't know what happened. They said they got into a situation with somebody and like they went to go beat that guy up, and then somebody that was with them came out and shot him. You gotta walk away, man. You gotta swallow your pride and just walk away. You gotta know that you represent something better. You got people depending on you. You got kids. You gotta walk away. I remember a story Meek Mill told. Casanova was telling a story about Meek. He was at dinner with Meek. He said he respected the way Meek moved now because something popped off in the restaurant they was at. And Casanova was getting up to go look like, yo, and Meek grabbed him and said, yo, what you doing? We leaving. He was like, yo, and that really hit him. Like he was ready to go look at the action. Meek was like, we leaving. Because Meek has been through too much, especially him being on probation. That type of stuff happening around him got him in too much trouble. Even if it wasn't his fault, he just knew to go leave. And so that's how he moves now. Like, yo, I'm not here for drama. I'm not here for none of that. We leaving. And I'm not gonna let you do that either. So you gotta have somebody that's there that's gonna say, yo, Ron, we leaving. Somebody's gotta say that. Somebody's gotta be like, yo, we out, we leaving. Don't even worry about cuz we leaving. You know what I'm saying? So it's just unfortunate. And I will say on the brighter side of it, I'm seeing things online that said that he owned his masters, and which is great because unfortunately, he passed. But with passing, your sales go up in music, and so he put himself in a position where his family and his loved ones will be able to, be taken care of after he's gone. You don't want to see it happen like that. But I try to find the good in certain situations whenever I can. So. I would much rather have him, and I'm sure his kids would much rather have him here. But that right there just shows me just how smart he was. A lot of rappers don't have that going on for themselves, especially new rappers. Not a lot of new rappers come in the game owning their masters, unless they just straight independent. So that just lets you know he was on the way. But like I said, I wasn't a fan, but I do remember everybody talking about Welcome to O Block as soon as it came out. So that's something that can't be denied. It's kind of like Pop Smoke. Pop Smoke was on his way, and then you got people, like I said, when you in those situations, people gonna hate on you, man. That's how a lot of these guys are done. They know who you are, and they figure they can talk to you any kind of way and try to get you either out your character, to get you to make a mistake, or they come after your life. So you gotta move smarter, especially when you come from static like that. You gotta move smarter,
People want your spot, man.
Yeah, people want your spot, man. You look at what happened to Pop Smoke, it's just unfortunate. You look what happened to X, look what happened to Nip. You look what happened to Vaughn, it's just unfortunate, So you gotta move smarter. Gotta get real security, not your homeboys with guns. Get real security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So when that stuff goes down, people think twice. So it's just unfortunate. And rest in peace to King Von. Praise to his family. And I hope people take this as a lesson. You know what I'm saying? I hope these young guys take this as a lesson. Like, yo, we gotta do better. Like,
And also just the black on black killing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't add any good to to anything that we have going on moving forward, especially in these people's eyes that look bad upon us already. I mean, we keep on constantly saying it, but guess what? It keeps constantly happening.
We got people trying to compare the election to George Floyd already.
Yeah, I just need to understand. I just need it. It's so hard to understand that because we're in a bigger plight, we're in a bigger flight, and of course, people are envious and jealous, and they just taking each other's lives. Same skin color as us, bro. Constantly, you gotta stop that. Rest in peace, King Von. And it's just, you know, it's tough. And to segue into, you know, another good topic, what does love mean to you? And I feel like this is a good segue, just to talk about what love means to you, and what, not even just saying the relationships. I'm just talking about what love in general means to you. So what would you say what love means to you when you just hear love? Describe.
When I hear, it reminds me of a line by Boss. You ever heard of Boss? He's on Dreamville, Cole and them. He said, "To love is so amazing. To love is so enslaving." And so that last part really hit home for me because love to me is a sacrifice. You know, the fact that you were willing to give up certain things because you love someone or something. Like with your dog, you're willing to. It could be pouring down rain, but he's got to use the bathroom. Because you love him, you're gonna get up, put your clothes on, and you gonna walk him. That's a sacrifice, you know, for your significant other. They might want you to get them something from the store. You're gonna get up out of the comfort of your home and go do that for them. You know, for your friend, you know, like this past weekend, I was shooting for my game all the way in Virginia. I had been up since 6 o'clock that morning. We didn't finish till like 4. I didn't get home till like 5. But we had to go out. We were going out to eat for Sean's birthday, and I could have been like, "Man, I've been on my feet all day. I don't feel like going away." But I love Sean. That's my friend. I love him. So I was willing to, even after having that long day, I was willing to go out and celebrate with him.
Absolutely.
So to me, love. If I describe love, sacrifice. I would say sacrifice.
I like that. And if I would describe love, I would definitely, in one word, it would. Not even just in one word, but describing it, it's an external and internal feeling. I feel like just in life, love means everything around you, and it's really us as human beings to really channel that. I can love my computer. Well, what does that really mean? Yeah, because it's different types of love too. Because sacrifice. And I like that word too because that's definitely real and that channels everything. And I feel like what love means is just honestly being compassionate, being one with something, understanding that you will put this thing over anything else, or like you said, sacrifice. I'm willing to go above and beyond, and I feel like. You know, love is really hard to come by because it's like, and also with love, you have on the flip side hate, and you have what we call the main thing that we call and what we need to preach and stand on is loyalty. So within that, I feel like love has a lot. It's not similar to. I mean, it's not in the same conversation, but. You have to have loyalty to really love somebody. You can love somebody and not be loyal, but also what does that really mean? Like honestly, that's a question I have for you. Can you love and still be disloyal?
That's a good question. To be honest, I feel like yes, and a part of me wants to say no. Cause it's like, you know, you look at examples of like, you know, people who cheat on their spouses, but it's like, you know, I wouldn't say that person, even when they did that, I wouldn't say that person didn't love their significant other. Sometimes, and I hope I'm never in a situation I don't plan on being, but I don't know, sometimes things get in the way of like the fact that you love that person. And I'm not making excuses for cheating, but like, you know, like when you're in an argument with somebody, you might be so angry in that moment, you say something whether it be your friend, your sister, your father, your mother, or your significant other, you might say something in that argument that you know you really didn't mean, but it doesn't mean you don't love that person. You know, sometimes things just, you know, certain situations just turn into that, and sometimes certain situations turn into, you know, you not thinking clearly, and you just being so mad and wanting to be petty and not wanting to forgive that, you know, you're willing to entertain this other person to go do that real quick.
And guess what? That goes back to what you saying. Sacrifice.
Yeah, and it's just like, so
Absolutely.
love and loyalty go hand in hand, but I do feel like there are instances where you can still love that person. It's hard because it's like oh, am I condoning cheating? But it's like you see it.
But I'm just saying
examples of it.
Yep. And that's why I just brought it up, because you see a lot of examples of, you know, saying, oh yeah, I love you, and you see a lot of people going against their word and not being loyal. So it questions their love for them. So
I do feel like there's a difference between doing something one time and doing something over and over again. Because there's a difference between making a mistake and a lifestyle choice. You know what I'm saying? So that if that's your lifestyle choice, then no, you don't love that person. Like, you can't. There's no way possible you love this person.
And it's an emotional, physical, and mental. Love is all of that and above, all above. So definitely, man, I feel like that was a good thing to touch on, especially us being man and us having these conversations. I feel like women feel like we don't have these vulnerable conversations behind closed doors. We're very vulnerable with each other because we real friends. We love each other. So, and that's another thing: communication, talking. Like, we brothers, man, for real. So
sometimes it's hard for men to understand.
Exactly.
Like, sometimes, even when you think about like how God loves us, you know, you think like people try to figure out, you know, what it is to mean like when God saves you by grace. And it's like, you know, despite everything that you do, it's like when you're His, and he still loves you, and it's hard for men to understand it. It's like really, it's like, but I did this, and like, but what about and? It's like, it's hard to grasp that concept. You know, I revel over it sometimes all the time. Like, and I read my Bible every day. Like my relationship with God is like the most important thing to me. And even still, sometimes it just you just get baffled by how much God loves you. You know, so like love in general for men sometimes it's just hard to grasp that concept. And I feel like as I get older, it's going to be even tougher for me because I've never been in love. Like, I would love to be in love one day. Like, I'm hoping for that, like within a year or two or something, whenever I'm like in the right spot. But as someone who's never been in love, I feel like when those things start happening, it's gonna be hard for me to grasp that concept of like, why is she doing this? I don't get it. It's like,
but you'll know though, just like you're very in tune with your spiritual and your religious beliefs, and you know God, He has everything in store for you already, bro. It's gonna fall in your lap perfectly. And that's another thing with love. Like, I feel like we have so much expectations of what we are looking for, what love is, instead of letting it come to us and be genuine. So that's definitely what I feel on that. But hey, man, this is a perfect segue to our last topic. Would you rather? Would you rather be held in high regard by your parents or by your friends? This was a hard one to digest. I'm still digesting it.
I might play both sides of the fence.
But if I can, I'm gonna speak on me particularly. It's a subjective opinion. So, it is in a way both. But I would say in my certain situation and just me in my life, I would say high regards for my parents, because the people my parents are. My friends are my everything too, because you gotta understand with friendships, your friends know more about you than your parents do. I mean, if you really want to be real and get down to it, I'm not saying like emotionally, like all that. Yeah, actually too, yes, because you're more vulnerable with your friends, because that's on an everyday basis. You're not seeing your parents on an everyday basis. Y'all have a connection, a bond that's forever. But also with your true friends, that's a connection and a bond that's forever too. Because my true friends are my brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, in my homegirls, those are like real life close sisters to me. I'm close to my friends. You know what I'm saying? I have an internal bond with them. So it's like, yes, they're the reason why I am who I am too, in a good way. But also my parents, they're in a different regard because what they went through, the trials and tribulations of growing up, what they instilled in me, the type of people they are. Like I can never. My parents are the realest people I know. Honestly, my mother and my father are the realest people I know. It's not even close. I'm talking about as human beings, and molding me to the man I am today. And I can never, because I want to make them proud every single day. Every single day. That's why I wake up in the morning thinking about is my son and my parents and what I can do to evolve and change their lives. It's not about me. Also my friends, of course, but my parents are held in a higher regard because I want to over exceed their expectations because they over exceeded mine.
Oh man, I'm gonna speak on both, but I think simply because you said parents, I'm gonna pick friends.
Okay.
Just so we get both sides of it.
Both sides, please, I like that.
So, to be held in high regard from your friends means a lot because it's like with your parents. It's kind of like they have to say, depending on your relationship, because not everybody has loving parents. But it's like how your mom calls you handsome,
right?
And it's like you don't really believe her, but she swears up and down. No, like seriously, like I wouldn't say these things. Like if I didn't believe it, and it's like, Mom, like I really don't believe you call me ugly. I'm sorry, like you're my mom. I just really don't believe you would sit here and say like, like you're my mom. I had this, and when a pretty girl says your hands, it just hits different. Mm-hmm. It hits a completely different from your mom. So like your parents, if you are, somebody that's worth being proud of, when your parents say they're proud of you, it's like it kind of rolls off you a little different. Not that but with your friends, it's kind of like, dang, like. Those are people, they don't have to say that, what I'm saying? They really, because they could be here today and gone tomorrow.
Absolutely.
Your parents are forever,
Absolutely.
if your relationship with them is right. But, so to hear, the last couple of years, I've been, like, the praise that I've been getting from my friends, it just made me, it was that praise that made me realize that, being who I am is enough. Like, I've always known that, but I've had so many moments where it was just like, it's like, I don't know if it's worth it because nobody notices, no one cares. It's like I might as well not exist. And over the last maybe 5 years, like senior year of college up till now, it's been a lot of praise from friends, but people like you and other different people that made me that God gave me that has been reassurance that okay, I am doing something right and it is worth it. And absolutely. I gotta keep being who I am because I got worth, I got value, and people are noticing that. Mm-hmm. So, and your friends are paying attention, man. Trust me, your friends are paying attention. So, to be held in high regard for your friends, by your friends, definitely means a lot. I think if you hadn't said parents, I think my real answer probably would have been parents because, I don't know, it's like, whenever my dad has ever said he's proud of me, I just tear up,
it's just...
I just tear up.
Yeah, that's I remember it's so tough. That's tough.
Yeah, I remember being in school. I was like my freshman year, and I see stuff you got freshmen who my freshman year. I remember just being in school, and I'm at school doing what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not acting up. I'm not cutting up, and I could be because I'm all the way in Massachusetts. I could be. Right. And so my grades are straight. And then I come back home from break. I remember I went to go have lunch with my dad at his job. I come in there and all his coworkers say, "Oh, you're cute. Oh my gosh, your father talks about you all the time. Saying how well you're doing in school." I'm like, and at first I'm like, "Oh, that's dad. We're supposed to say that." Oh, I'm sure they just said it to say it. Right. But then every person that I shook hands with said the exact same thing. It's like, wow, dad has really been talking about me. And I go to church. And it's like, yo, your father will not stop talking about my project. It's like, yo, and it hits different knowing that I'm at school not acting a fool. And my father is back home bragging about how proud he is of me. Just made me want to be a better son, made me want to be a better, do better at school. Even though I wasn't doing any wrong, it just felt better. And then when you go up there and you see, you got young guys on the team, they skipping class, they smoking, they're not doing what they're supposed to do in the classroom. And it's like, man, my father can barely afford to put gas in his car right now, put me through this school. Not only that, he's bragging about me to to everybody he knows, like, what kind of son would I be to come up here and waste his money and my time, you know, doing whatever, and not, like, that just wouldn't, like, that would just kill me. Like, what kind of son am I? So, I probably would have picked parents because, not to say that, shout out to my mom, definitely, of course, but, like, I guess maybe it's just the son in me, you know. Just
and also, you just picking up an example as well.
Yeah,
it's
just
a very great example.
Yeah, like just knowing that my dad is proud of me and that I'm actually doing him justice. Like I don't have to feel guilty about dang, like I'm out here being trash and he thinks I'm the world. He thinks the world of me.
Absolutely.
So yeah, that was a tough one. Shit.
And I agree with that too. And to piggyback off of that, and just to expound a little bit on my point, was just saying also with the parents. Think about this, and with me having a son, like honestly, realizing that more and more, especially growing up and your parents say certain things to you that ring off now because you're older.
Facts.
You're a walking example of your people. You're a walking example of your parents. You are their legacy.
No matter how old you get either.
So no matter who you meet, as like friends, brothers, sisters, included, I'm talking about all your truest friends, everybody you meet, you're an example of them. That's their legacy that you're holding. You know what I'm saying? You know when your people say, "Don't go out there and make a fool of me," you know like that saying.
It's different when you become an adult.
It's true because when you become an adult, now is your turn to carry the legacy. So what you molded in me and what I molded in myself now. Carry that to the next generation and there on and so forth.
Not only that, especially speaking on this, you having a son, like me being a former child care professional working in preschool, you know, when you like that's how we judge that's how we judge parents based off the kid. Literally, it's like we immediately start judging parents immediately just from like how a kid is. Like, yo, it's like, all right, he's not getting enough attention at home. It's like, all right, she's spoiled. It's like, all right, you're not being disciplined. It's like they're a representation of what's going on.
It's not the child's fault either.
Yeah, like
because in that, you're right. So
like definitely you are. No matter how old you get, you represent your parents.
Absolutely, man. So man, this has been an amazing episode, man. Facts. Thank you guys for tuning in. Like and please subscribe to the Faison View podcast. Make sure you go cop that new Color Power bracelet. Waist beads, you already know, anklets, and make sure that you support and go cop you some Game Shift hats. Hey, we're going crazy. This is a movement, man. This is a movement.
It's up. 2021. It's
up. It's up, man.
It's stuck there.
It is stuck. So, man, thank you guys for tuning in. Hey, peace and love. Y'all. You already know, man. 1.